Good. For today's practice, if you know that you're a little bit tight, which I think maybe all of us are, and if you can grab 2 yoga blocks. In case you don't have a yoga block, you can use anything that resembles that shape. Yeah. I was a little bit sick last week. I'm not sure if it's allergies at this point, but if I do have to sniff my nose in between, please forgive me. And then let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seat. So just make yourself down to your mat any way that feels good to start this practice this morning. Let me turn on this light for you. I hope you can hear me properly. I hope you can see me properly. So maybe you still have your coffee just like me. That's all right. Good. Today's class is themed around the topic of gratitude. So gratitude is obviously a very powerful emotion, a very powerful feeling, and a very powerful practice. I would say if you've ever done a gratitude practice, maybe you're aware of how much it can change our state of being. So I thought it was a nice way to start this day, maybe also just this week. So come into a comfortable seat. As always, maybe rolling the shoulders, rolling the neck. Give yourself some time to arrive here. Maybe you want to start playing some music. That's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, maybe also cushion yourself up under your pelvis, feeling that connection all the way down, shaking the head, shaking the shoulders until you can arrive with an upright spine. So an upright seat that feels good this morning, that's not too rigid, in silence. And then trust yourself, trust your space, trust my voice. To just close your eyes here for a moment and tune inwards. Not for too long. We're going to get moving in just a little bit. But I want you to take a moment here to really sense into that feeling in your body that arises when you think about something that you're grateful for. It can be one thing, can be multiple things. It can be the most mundane thing in the world. Just the fact that you have a warm bed to sleep. You know, in a way, that's a privilege too, that we all hold. And just getting a little bit familiar with that feeling that comes up in the body. And then maybe just naturally, maybe already here you begin to also tune in towards your breath and feeling your breath moving through all the parts of your body. The gentle lift and rise with the inhale, it's new energy, prana is entering your body. And that sense of release when you exhale, soften everything down and let the shoulders relax. A nice moment here to also cultivate some gratitude for your breath, your engine that's keeping you alive. And then maybe in this practice today, really moving from this place of gratitude for all the different parts of your body, your existence, your breath, your being. And with that, place the hands in front of your heart center. Thumbs can touch your chest. Take one more big breath in as you reach the crown of the head just slightly higher. And when you exhale, gently bowing down. Chin to chest, and then if your eyes were closed, gently blink, open them again so you get used back to the light, come back to the room. Good. Rub your palms, create some energy, a little bit more warmth. And then you can place that on towards your closed eyelids, massaging your face, maybe the neck. Good, all right. So from here, you want to make your way onto your knees, onto your shins. So coming into this variation of hero's pose. If you want, you can always place a blanket underneath your knees or just flip the mat, just like this, to have a little bit of extra cushioning depending on what sorts of floor you're practicing on this morning. And then here again, roll out your shoulders, roll out your neck, arrive here. And then we're just going to start moving. So in this moment of gratitude, or this theme of gratitude, we're going to open a little bit of the heart space. So the frontal body, that's usually also very energizing. And then we'll move into the hips, that keeps you grounded and really firm and stable. And gratitude does that too. So on your next inhale, you want to reach the arms up and overhead, and at the same time begin to lift your hips off. So you stack your hips over your knees, reach the arms high. And as you exhale, turn into a twist on the right side. So your hips are turning back down, left arm comes onto the right knee, and the right hand comes behind you. Stay here, big breath in, find length through the spine. Big breath out, gaze over your right shoulder. One more breath here. Good, next in-breath brings you back to center. Again, you're gonna reach high, come high on your hips. Arms reach really, really tall, fingertips towards the sky, and then exhale, twist to the other side. Good, also here, big breath in, find that length. Exhale, gently gazing over the shoulder, releasing any sorts of tension from your spine here, from your sleep. One more big breath. Long exhale. All right, picking up the pace just a little bit. So move on your own breath. You don't necessarily have to breathe like me. Inhale, reach the arms up, come high on your hips, on your knees. Exhale, send the hips down, find the twist to the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to the left. Just one more each side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. And exhale, twist. All right, next inhale, you're gonna come up again. And this time, reaching the fingertips just a little bit more high, trying to find just a gentle back bend. So take it easy here. In the very morning, you can squeeze your glutes and then think about pushing your hips just slightly more forward while your hands lean back. But it's rather a movement up to the sky than like all the way back. So don't let yourself fall all the way. Find that strength and that length here. Gaze up. Take one more big breath in. Find the lift up to the sky. And with your next exhale, gently coming down, bringing the fingertips in front of you, coming into child's pose. Option to open the knees just a slight bit. It's usually a bit more comfortable to make space for your upper body, allowing it to rest here, forehead down on the mat, melting the forehead down to the earth, hands out in front of you, just reconnecting to your breath here, with that feeling of gratitude. Just one more big breath in, big breath out. Good, then from here, walk the hands over towards your left side, really off the mat, coming into this kind of side body stretch, and then plant the left palm really firmly down into the ground. And then your next inhale is gonna reach and trickle the right hand up. You're gonna come into this side bend. I'm just gonna turn around for you. So maybe you're still in wide-legged child's pose. Maybe you close the knees, simple side bend, opening the side of your body, allowing for more space to breathe. Big breath. And then walk yourself back down over the front in this forward fold motion, coming to the other side. Right hand plants down and then very gently Trickling up, moving up the left hand, coming into the side bend, moving the shoulder far away from the ear. Big breath in. Long breath out. And then also here, picking up the pace just slightly. So moving back down, rolling over to one side. Left hand plants down, right arm reaches up. Big breath, big stretch. And other side. Exhale, moving all the way down, kind of like you want to vacuum the floor, and then inhale, coming back up. And just one more on the right side to keep it even. Good, and then come forward again with the hands. Plant the palms down on the mat. And then shift your hips up, come into tabletop position, maybe bringing the knees just slightly closer together again. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, maybe tucking the toes, a little bit of activity for the feet. A couple of rounds of cat and cow just in your own time. Inhale as you drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, lift the gaze. Exhale to round. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, round, maybe shifting the hips more from left to right, finding a little bit more of a wavy movement, whatever feels good today. Just one more. Good. And then from here, come back into tabletop position. Make sure you have enough space behind you. So maybe just crawling slightly further up on the mat. Keeping the hands, really the fingers widely spread underneath your shoulder so you have a good grip, as if your fingertips wanted to like suck the mat towards your hands. And then you're going to extend one leg out after the other, keeping the heel lifted, arriving into a high plank. And we're going to stay here just for a moment. Think about pushing yourself away from the mat, so not sinking down in your shoulders, but really finding that space. If you were here last week, maybe it sounds familiar. Drawing the navel into the spine, taking a big breath. And a big breath out. You can always drop your knees. We're just here to build a little bit of heat in the body and a little bit of core strength to activate. That's going to keep us safe during our yoga practice. Take one more big breath in. And on your next exhale, send the hips high, maybe bending the knees, keeping the heels lifted, finding downward facing dog. Drawing one heel down after the other, finding that length through the back of your legs, shaking out the head, rolling out the shoulders. Good. Reconnecting to the breath. There's no right or wrong here, just really anything that feels good. This kind of upside down position that you're putting your body in, finding a movement that gives you a sense of ease, a sense of release. And then gently pick up your gaze forwards between your hands. Keep the knees bent, tippy toe, walk or hop it towards the top of the mat, depending on what kind of practice you need today. Keeping the knees bent and the feet just slightly wider than hip width, and then take it out also here from left to right. Really tangling it out. Letting the head drop, so really gaze all the way through your legs. Kind of little perspective change here, what's behind. Finding space in the body. And then walk your feet hip width distance together again if they were wider apart. Inhale as you take a half lift, so you straighten your legs, push your hands onto knees or shins and find length through the spine. Exhale, bending the knees, brushing with the hands down in the back of your legs to fold you down like a little sandwich. And then on your next inhale, keeping the knees bent, glutes engaged, core engaged, to rise up. Arms either over the front or maybe over the side if you have that space. And then reaching the arms all the way tall, up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands towards your heart center. And then here, place one hand on your heart space and one hand
on your belly, or maybe on your lower back. You can figure out what feels better. And just taking 3 deep breaths here. Again, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, tuning back into that sense of gratitude. That place that you're moving from today. And if that's a little bit hard to connect to, just again, think of something that you're grateful for today. It can be one thing, one person, one event, one privilege that you hold. And becoming aware of how your emotions can change. Good, all right, moving through a couple of sun salutations, hopefully getting you energized more for the day. Also, gratitude for the sun that's finally out. Inhale as you reach the arms up and overhead. You can hook your thumbs as you lean slightly back. So again, just like we did on the knees, pushing the hips slightly forward, finding length through the fingertips, leaning slightly back, hips push forward. And then on your exhale, bring the hands together, prayer position. Again, moving from the heart space, bending the knees, folding down all the way. Inhale to find that half lift, maybe hands, fingertips on the floor, maybe on the knees. Exhale to bend. And then stepping it back into plank pose, just like we did before, finding that really high plank, not staying here for long this time. Big breath in. Exhale, drop knees, chest, and chin. Move really with the control, keeping the elbows super tight to the body, gaze forward. And then untuck your toes as you roll your pelvis down in the mat, rolling the shoulder blades together. Shoulders roll back, keeping the chin slightly tucked in. Again, you can squeeze your glutes, coming into a low cobra. And with your exhale, forehead down on the mat. And then tuck your toes, shift yourself back through tabletop. And then eventually back up into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Big breath in. Long breath out. You can find stillness in your down dog here. Or you can keep it moving, paddling out the feet. Excuse me. And then after your next exhale, gaze forward again, bending the knees slightly more. Pick up the gaze between your hands. And then maybe taking 2 big steps or a lot of small steps. Come back to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Big breath in. Long breath out, relax the shoulders. All right, picking up the pace. Again, moving from a place of your breath. So maybe you breathe faster, move faster or slower. Your practice. Inhale, arms reach up. Finding length, possible gentle back bend. To then exhale, hands in front of your heart, hinge from the hips, flow down, let the head drop. Big breath in to find length through half lift. Exhale to fold. Step it back into plank, maybe this time with the opposite foot first. And then from here, maybe moving again, knees, chest, and chin, or lowering in any other way down. You can also pivot on your toes, bending the elbows for chaturanga, but then lower all the way down on towards your belly from wherever you're coming from. Untuck your toes. Keep the hands close to your shoulders, elbows tucked in towards your body. And then inhale as you find low cobra. So we're staying in this low cobra just to give a little bit of activation towards your back muscles, keeping the chin tucked in, glutes engaged. And then exhale, forehead down on the mat. Tucking the toes, again shifting back through tabletop. And then from tabletop back into down dog. 3 breaths here. And then again, bending the knees slightly more as you pick up the gaze forwards between your hands. Tippy toe, hop or step it towards the top of the mat. Your practice, your choice. Inhale, half lift. Find that length, that distance from the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale to bend. And then inhale, rise up. I keep hitting my plant. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, also here, a big breath in. And exhale, really softening the shoulders down, the belly. Connecting to the gratitude again. One last sun salutation. Inhale, arms reach up. Slight back bend. Exhale, fold, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step or jump. This time, if you jumped, go straight into chaturanga, so with chaturanga arms. And then inhale, this time, coming into a little bit of a higher cobra with the knees either on the mat or keeping the knees lifted for upward facing dog, rolling the shoulders back, finding the engagement through the core and the glutes and the lift up. So more of a stretch this time. And then exhale, finding your way into down dog. Big breath in and a big breath out. One more, maybe again paddling out the feet. There's no need to have stillness in your down dog. This can be a very dynamic practice for you today where you keep moving at all times. And then finding the way forward again, maybe hopping. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart. And again, placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your lower back or maybe the belly. Whatever you want to connect to more today. Feeling the heartbeat. With a moment of gratitude for your heart. Keeping you alive, pumping that blood all your life long. All right, good. And then moving into a first little flow. From your standing position, so your hip width distance apart. And a good way to measure that is to bring your fists together and then placing the fists just between your feet. So that's usually hip width distance for your anatomy. And then from this place, you want to step the right foot back, bending into the front knee. You can also bend into the back leg. See how that feels? Point your hips forward and the back heel is lifted. So you're in a high lunge position. It can be much wider. It can be much shorter. Good, and then you arrive here in your high lunge. Inhale, big breath in, reach the fingertips again up to the sky. And then think about drawing your navel into the spine. So it's not a back bend, we're not back bending just yet. It's just a straight lift all the way from your pelvis up through the fingertips. Maybe lifting the gaze just slightly and just feeling that length off your body here. Good, big breath in. Long breath out. And then from here, moving through a flow. So on your inhale, you're going to reach the fingertips just slightly higher. On your exhale, cactusing the arms, but really spreading the fingertips wide as if you wanted to kind of like open a curtain or peek through something. Reaching the elbows really far back, leaning slightly back into this heart opening. And then with your exhale, reaching forward as if you wanted to grab something, rounding the spine. Think of cat and cow. Front knee stays bent at all times, chin to chest. And then again, inhale, opening the palms up, reaching them back. So this is a big artistic movement. It can look a little bit different from you. Think of cat and cow while staying in high lunge with your legs. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you hug something close. Just two more, getting accustomed to that move, embodying how that feels, especially on this opening. Exhale, round. The legs are gonna start to work. Big breath in, open your heart space. Keep that energy moving all the way through the arms. And then come back into this opening. interlace the hands behind your back. Opening the stance just slightly wider, so pivoting the front foot further out to the side. And then you can also come down on your heel on the back leg. Keeping the front knee back, big breath in as you roll the shoulders back. Again, finding that lift through the heart space, that space of gratitude that you're moving from. Big breath in, exhale, humble warrior. Bowing down in this humble approach, letting the head drop, so really gaze into your back foot. Staying here, just another big breath. Big breath out. Next in-breath picks you up again. Move from a place of steadiness from your core. Release the arms, reach the arms high. Keep the stance wide as you now place your fingertips or you plant your palms on the inside of your left leg all the way down onto the mat. Pivot on your back foot so you're straight with the leg again, and then drop the back knee down. So the hands are on the inside of the left leg, and then gently with the left hand pushing the knee out to the side, coming into this hip opener, lizard variation. You can come on the outer edge of your foot, maybe also moving the foot open a little bit more to the side, and then really allow your hips to drop. No force applied when you push your knee away, moving from a sense of love. And then big breath in as you reach the left arm forwards, upwards, and then parallel towards the mat all the way back. And again, you're finding that space of heart opening, option to place the hand in towards your back to find a little bit more of a twist as you want to reach your chest higher up to the ceiling, rolling that back shoulder all the way down. Option, maybe drawing the back knee in, the back foot, maybe grabbing that leg, but don't worry if that's a little bit too much this morning. And then just reconnect to the feeling of gratitude in your body. Even in maybe a difficult pose, see how it changes. Big breath. And just one more. Good, and then bringing everything back, dropping the back foot down if it was lifted, circling the left hand back down, and then walk your left leg back in between your hands so your hands are framing the foot. Pick up your back knee and then send the right foot back straight into plank. Again, big breath in here. On your exhale, find your way down, dropping the knees, chest and chin, or moving through a chaturanga, lowering halfway down with the elbows just 90 degrees. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Find a lift. Exhale, moving into either straight into down dog or taking a moment in child's pose. Feel free to drop your hands down to your feet. To also give your wrists, your shoulders and your arms just a moment of relaxation. Gratitude for this awesome body that you hold. If you were in child's pose, you can either just come forward into tabletop position or move straight into downward facing dog. Maybe in down dog, just taking one more breath, rolling the shoulders out, finding the length through the sit bones up to the sky. Always think about there was like a light on your bum and you wanted to shine it up to the sky. If you're in tabletop, also from tabletop, you can find your way back forward again. So we're all going to meet back into half lift at the front of the mat, pushing the chest away, finding that extra length also through your upper spine. Exhale as you bend your knees, brush down your legs, fold your little sandwich, and then inhale, big breath in as you rise. Arms reach high and overhead, and then exhale, centering prayer position in front of your heart space. Good, moving through the other side. So this time stepping the left leg back, or the opposite, depending on which leg you were moving before. Again, finding a good high lunge position. So find your hip bones, your pelvis bones, and make sure they're pointing just straight forward to the top of the mat. You can keep your back knee lifted, bent. Front knee is bent just over your ankle. And then again, drawing the navel into the spine, so tucking that tailbone. I hope that's a visual here. Drawing the lower ribs in, and then reaching the fingertips high, so you're not just yet in a back bend. You're moving from a place straight up your pelvis, so finding that erect spine all the way up. Relaxing the shoulders down, but finding the lift through the fingertips. Gently lifting the gaze up if you want. Keeping the core engaged. A big breath in. Long breath out. And then also here, next inhale, you're going to reach the arms back. So really drawing with the elbows all the way back. Again, as if you wanted to open something. Leaning slightly back, opening the heart space. Exhale as you lean forward, arms make a big circle as you want to hug something that's in front of you, grabbing it in. So you can really round your spine here. And then again, inhale, coming up, moving the arms back. Exhale forward. So again, this can look different for you. Find something that works. Inhale as you open your heart, think of cat and cow. Exhale as you round, lean slightly forward. 2 more. Building strength and stamina in the legs that keep you grounded through life. Good. Next inhale, come back center. And then again, interlacing the hands behind your back. This time going with the opposite thumb first. So usually also here we interlace always in the same kind of way. Switching it up a little bit. And then again, making the stance just slightly wider. So pivoting the foot a bit out. It's slightly wider than hip width distance at this point. You can drop your back heel down. So you're in this 45-degree angle. The hips are still pointing forward. And then again, you roll the shoulders back. Lift your heart space as you drop your hips down. Find that beautiful opening of your frontal body. Big breath in. Long breath out. Humble warrior all the way down. And then drop your head. Maybe shaking it gently out. Reaching with the fingertips further up over your head. And that's not the way they are supposed to be. It's just the direction they want to go. So if your arms are further back and your chest is not so low, don't worry about it. It's just the direction that we're heading. 1 more big breath in. And a big breath out. Feel the stretch of your shoulders, the strength of your leg, and then your next inhale is going to pick you back up. Good job. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, plant the palms down on the inside, again on the inside of your right leg. Dropping the back knee down and the back foot. Again, you can come into this 45-degree angle with your right toes just slightly pointing out to the side. Coming on the outer edge of the foot and then pushing, not really pushing, gently touching your right knee, your right inner thigh, allowing the hips to drop. See how that feels on this side. And again, tuning into that sense of gratitude, stillness. You can stay right here. An option you can add on, it's always optional. Reaching the right arm high and then back. Opening the shoulder, opening the heart space, maybe placing the hand on the back of on your lower back. Opening your heart space a bit more, or again, maybe grabbing the back foot. But if that doesn't feel good, there's no need to go there. Good, stay here for a couple more breaths, really connecting inside. And then very gently find your way back as you roll the right arm back down on the mat. Take your time. And walk the right foot centered between your hands again. You can step it right back into down dog. You can move straight into a resting pose. Come standing at the top of your mat. Or you move with me through another chaturanga as you lift the back knee off the mat. Step the right foot back. Arrive in plank. Big breath in. Exhale as you lower halfway down. Inhale as you find the length through your upper body. Engage your core, engage your glutes, roll the shoulders back, lift high. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. You can also first come to down dog and then take a moment of rest in child's pose. And it doesn't have to be child's pose. You can always rest in any other position. Good, and then if you are in child's pose, just one more tiny flow here. So coming back either all the way up into down dog, or again, staying in tabletop, and then swing the left leg forward from wherever you are. Take your time, use your hands. Maybe scooting the back knee just a little bit further back. We're going into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So rooting the front foot down, allowing the hips to drop. And then here, inhale, big breath in, reach high. Exhale, allow the hips to drop. And then also here, try tucking your tailbone so that you get that big, beautiful stretch of your right hip flexor. Either staying here or inhale, big breath in, find length. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back, coming into this twist. Now this is a big opening of the back shoulder. So if it feels more like this, that's all right. Hips are still pointing forward. Again, you can stay here, or you can flip and reverse it by bringing the left hand on your back leg and the right arm up and overhead. Good, big breath in. Long breath out. Again, feel the opening of your frontal body, the opening of your hips. And then from here, come back into this side twist. Good. Inhale. And then exhale. Circling, cartwheeling the arms down. Pick up your back knee. Pick up your back or tuck your back toes. Maybe this point, hopping the leg just a little bit further. And then on your next exhale, you can straighten your legs. And this is the point where, if not already, you have your blocks next to you. Finding pyramid pose, keeping the hips pointed forward, straightening the front leg. You can always stay micro bend. And just to elongate your arms if you have also very short arms like me. It's sometimes nice just using this extra extension. You can bring them further down. And then we're going to move dynamically. On your next inhale, again, you're going to drop the back knee down, coming back into this lunge position, finding length through your upper back, rolling the shoulders back. As you exhale, lifting the back knee, shifting the hips back. Pyramid. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, pyramid. One more with the blocks or without. It also works without the blocks. And coming on the fingertips and just figuring out the stance. So maybe coming with the feet closer together makes it easier. All right, and then coming one more time into Anjaneyasana. Lifting the back knee at this point, again, but keeping the front knee bent. Pivoting the back foot open towards the side, so the outer edge of your foot is pointing at the short waist of your mat. And then from here, big cartwheel open, warrior two. Good. So in your warrior two, take a deep breath in. A big breath out. That knee stays over the ankle. Weight into the back foot. Flip your front palm. Inhale, lean slightly forward. And then exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand either on your back leg or maybe grabbing behind your lower back. You can get a hold of your front thigh. Find that opening of your side body. Opening of the heart space. Big breath in. Long breath out. And then straighten the front leg. If you have the arm behind you, you can also try keeping it there, experimenting a little bit today. Taking the left hand out to the side. Inhale, big breath in as you lean forward. Exhale as you collapse, not collapse. As you find your way down. That's the key, not to collapse. Into a triangle pose. And now if your hand is still in this little bind, make sure that your chest is not pointing down to the mat, but just gently, and you can use your hand, you can self-assist yourself, pushing the shoulder a little bit further back. And then maybe at this point it also feels nice to release the arms, stacking the shoulders, again finding that big side body opening here in your triangle pose. Big breath in, big breath out. And bend again into your front knee. Cartwheel the arms down so the back foot pivots, the heel lifts. Stepping it back again into any position that feels good. Maybe it's a down dog, maybe it's a child's pose. Maybe it's a little bit of a vinyasa, and you can always move through knees, chest, and chin as well. Inhale for low cobra. Always an option. And then exhale, 3 breaths, either down dog or child's pose. All right, good. This time, bringing the right foot forward, so either moving again from the place of a down dog, 3-legged dog, or from the place of a tabletop position, just with the knees grounded. And if your foot stops here, just grab it. Untucking the back toes. Finding this lunge, again, if you have blocks or anything else, you can use that. Allow your hips to drop. Root through your front foot. Big breath in as you find that length up. And exhale, sit low. And again, then hug the lower ribs in. Tuck your tailbone. Find that big, beautiful stretch of the hip flexor. Reach the arms high. Relax your shoulders. Again, you can stay here. Everything else is optional. The entire practice is obviously optional, but you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to move. So big breath in. And exhale, left arm forward, right arm back, coming back into this side twist by keeping the hips pointing forward. Staying here or placing the back hand on your back leg, reaching the front arm up. And hips drop down. Big breath. And then next inhale brings you back into the twist with the arms parallel to the mat. And then you cartwheel it down all the way, coming either onto your blocks or onto the floor, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, possibly pivoting it slightly further forward. Big breath in again, length through the spine, and then exhale, shifting the weight back, pyramid. Moving dynamically, so finding your way, how to move today. Inhale, dropping the knee. Exhale, sending the hips back. The knee can stay always slightly bent. Just make sure that your hips are really moving just forward and back. No movement to the side. One more. Exhale. Good, then also here bending into your front leg. pivoting on the back foot. So this the outer edge of the foot is pointing to the short waist of the mat. Keeping the front knee bent, and then with a big moment, you're opening, cartwheeling it up into a warrior two. Embody that warrior moment. Gaze over your front middle finger. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the arms strong, front knee bend. Good, big breath in. Exhale, and reverse your warrior, either back arm onto your back leg, or again, finding that little bind if that feels good. Allowing your body, your hips to drop down. Keep the core engaged. Big breath. Big exhale. And then from here, coming forward, right arm reaches forward, maybe staying in the bind, maybe releasing it. Straightening the front leg. Big breath in as you reach through the right arm forward. And then you exhale and reach the right arm down. Keeping your chest open to the side. So again, maybe a little self-adjust. Pushing the shoulder gently back. And then maybe you want to open the shoulder up. Stacking the arms, pyramid pose, triangle pose. Making lots of tiny little triangles with your body. Big breath. Big exhale. One more. And then bend into your front knee again. Pivot it down. Your back heel lifts. And then again, stepping it back, maybe plank, maybe down dog. Move through a variation of this transition that feels good for you and your body today. And then eventually we're all going to meet in child's pose. So again, maybe opening the knees just slightly wider. The arms are reaching out ahead of you. And then circling the right arm through the left arm, so coming into this twist. And then just picking up the hips slightly higher to allow your right side of the head to drop down on the mat. Maybe bringing the knees just slightly in together again. So finding this twist here, open to the left side. Big breath. Relax the shoulders, find the twist of your spine. And an option, you can stay here if you want a little bit more energy today. Maybe tucking the toes or keeping them untucked, see what works. You're going to slide your left hand either towards your lower back or towards your left heel. So this is kind of an awkward position, but we're moving from here. Use your core to lift you up. Coming up and then reaching the right arm high and overhead, coming into this side camel or half camel. Maybe the back arm is on the back, lower back. Again, it's the frontal body opening. Relax that shoulder down. Squeeze your glutes, push the hips high. One more big inhale. With the exhale, finding the way back down, take your time. Maybe untucking the toes again, finding child's pose. And then extending the right arm out and circling the left arm through. Shifting the hips slightly higher, allow the left side of the head to drop down on the mat. Tune into the twist and maybe sigh it out. Relax. Become heavy in your shoulders and your chest and just super soft in your belly. And then again here, you can stay here. We're moving into this half camel variation by bringing the right hand either on your lower back or on your heel. And for that, you can tuck your toes. That's just going to lift the heels slightly higher. So it's a bit easier to move into this camel.
And then coming up again by shifting the hips up, use your core to reach you high, and then swinging the left arm back and overhead. Relax the right shoulder down, lean slightly back by pushing the hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Feel the opening of the heart space. Lift the gaze. Big breath in. And then with your exhale, again, circling it back down, untuck your toes and just find hero's pose here for a moment. So we're not going to go straight back into child's pose after these big back bends. It's usually nice to go into neutral. Maybe again, a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Sometimes what happens, because the back bends activate our nervous system in all kinds of ways, the heart races a bit faster. Well, hopefully it doesn't race, it just beats for you. And gifting it with this moment of gratitude again. Right, and then from here you can either stay here or you can go into your back, moving into Shavasana just for a couple minutes, and we're going to do a small gratitude meditation here just to end this practice, but most importantly also to send you off into your day. So just find something that feels good. If you feel like leaving this class, I recommend you not to, because it's a little bit intense for the body, just coming straight from a back bend back into life. So take your time. Obviously, if you're in a rush, I get that. And just find a space that feels good. Coming onto the back into Shavasana is probably the best thing you can do for your body right now, but I get that, especially in the morning, sometimes it feels a bit daunting because we might want to fall back asleep. So I'm giving you the choice. And then find ease in your body wherever you are by allowing the shoulders to relax, and the belly to be soft, and the face muscles to be soft. And then again, wherever you are, either keeping the hands just next to your body, maybe on your thighs, or connecting to your heart and your belly by placing your hands there and feeling the warmth. And then again, reconnect to that feeling, to that thing that you thought about. Maybe it's not a thing, maybe it's an event, it's an emotion, it's a person, it's an achievement, whatever it is that you're grateful for today. And there's lots of things that you're grateful for in every day. Just the fact for having clean water, a warm space, a home, people that love you and people that you love. But maybe there's something specifically today that you are grateful for. And again, connect to that feeling that arises in the body when we have this sense of almost completion, knowing that so much of what we want is already there. And that you have so much to be grateful for. Stay connected to your breath and to that feeling just for a little bit longer.
And you're very welcome to stay in this pose, stay in your Shavasana, stay in this meditation for as long as you need to today. There's nothing more important than taking the time for yourself. I know that sometimes when I do the same, we rush just from one call or meeting to the other. But there's really nothing more important than taking this time for you. There is no meeting in the world that's more important. And then maybe you bring the hands towards your heart center if you're in Shavasana, so maybe rolling gently back up, but again, feel free to stay. And then with these hands centered in Anjali Mudra, the palms touching in front of your heart space, take one more big breath in as you lift the crown of the head up to the sky. And exhale, bowing down to all these wonderful things, beings that you're grateful for. And so grateful for this body that you hold and the time that you took this morning to practice. I am very grateful to have you to practice with me every Tuesday morning. Thank you so much. I hope you get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine today, and I hope to see you again next week.